Are you interested in a LCSW test prep exam question? Well, today is your lucky day. So after my video on the 3 tips to pass your LCSW exam went up, I started getting some questions on social media about these best, most, and next questions. So I want to take an example of one of these best, most, and next questions and break it down for you. So that's exactly what this video is going to do. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, take a look at my 3 tips video. So before we get into the content of this video, welcome to my channel, Mental Health with Melissa. I'm Melissa, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I'm also a clinical supervisor, and I provide clinical supervision, and also I am currently in the process of obtaining my PhD. Teaching is quite a passion of mine, and I'm really excited to share this passion by assisting in providing any information I can, by providing any sort of psychoeducational and teaching services by breaking down this LCSW exam. So please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more content. Okay, so today I am going to be going over a LCSW exam test question. This was one that I was able to kind of come up with, but also take from a lot of the test prep exams that I took. I just finagled the words around a little bit and changed some of the identifying information. So there's going to be a lot of test questions like this one. As I mentioned in my other video entitled 3 Tips to Pass Your LCSW Exam, which I'm going to link down below and also on here. That's why I wanted to talk about the 3 tips to help you pass, and we're going to explore them today. Okay, so the first tip that I'm going to talk about is, and it's going to be vital that you check that out, but as I mentioned in that video, and as you'll see, one of the major questions that is on that exam is the best, most, or next question. And so I'm going to read this, and then you'll understand what I'm saying when I say best, next, and most. So we're going to break it down if you're interested in seeing how there are how some of the exam questions are in the LCSW test, and we're going to break down each of the answers, and we're going to break down the vignette. So I want you to take a moment right now to read over this, the responses, and choose an option before we go over it to test your knowledge base on what the correct answer is. And I would say pause it right here, the video right here, so that you can take a moment to choose your answer. Okay, so now let's get into it. Now that you have tested your knowledge base, we're going to go over and break this down. So please, again, check out my other video, the 3 ways to pass your LCSW exam. That's going to explain more. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and break down this vignette. So a vignette, if you're not familiar, is basically a case study, a story that you're given in the LCSW exam. And you read the whole vignette, and then you're given a set of responses that are the best, most, or next thing to do. So let's start off by reading the vignette. A 42-year-old man is referred to a clinical caseworker after his children were removed by Child Protective Services due to allegations of past abuse while intoxicated. He has been through 2 years of residential treatment, obtained sobriety, and has had several visitations with his children, establishing that he is in recovery and able to be around his children again. He tells the clinical caseworker he is not sure that he wants to challenge the court to get them back. He states he does not think he wants to do all the things required through Child Protective Services that they want him to do, only to likely not regain custody in the end. Which response is the best thing the clinical caseworker should say to the client? So as I mentioned, when I said best, most, and next, this is what I'm talking about. So we're going to automatically see here that best is what, this is the type of question that is being asked. So there may likely be several responses that you could say to the client, but when the LCSW exam asks you what the best thing to do or to say is, they are testing your judgment on what they want you to say. So again, although there may be multiple ways to say something, or you may feel in a subjective manner that there's a better way to say something, the clinical exam is testing what is the best thing to do or say in their eyes. So let's go ahead and take a look at the answers. So response A, your children will be put at ease if they know you attempted to gain full custody. So if we're looking at that, what does this say to our client? Your children will be put at ease if they know you attempted to gain full custody. So it may or may not be true that these children would benefit from the client's efforts to gain custody. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is it kind of sounds that the clinical caseworker would be persuading the client one way over another. And so because of that, this does not look like it would be the right thing to say. So let's go to the next response. Response B, congratulations on sobriety. It may look bad if you do not put in the effort to the court system. So congratulations on sobriety, that's certainly a strength-based way on acknowledging what the client is going through, that they've established their recovery. It may look bad if you do not put in the effort to the court system. So telling the client to look at how his or her actions will be viewed by the courts or by CPS may put pressure on the client and may make the clinical social worker's values about it known. So in this situation, the clinical caseworker is again making it seem that there is the right choice is to do it in the way that the clinical social worker is viewing it. So this doesn't seem like it's the right choice. Option C, good choice. You can try to get custody first and then give it up later. So again, we see this positive affirmation here, good choice. You can try to get custody first and then give it up later. Insisting that the client work to regain custody or it is does not support the client's right to self-determination. So again, saying that they can try it first and then give it up later is still not showing that self-determination is being prioritized at this point. So this may not be the right choice. Let's look at the last option, option D. You are free to choose whether or not you want to try to regain custody of the children. Okay, so right here, you are free to choose, okay, so that looks like it's honoring self-determination, whether or not you want to regain custody of the children. So this entire statement is basically saying that the client is able to choose what they want to do. It sounds like there may still be some effort that the client will have to do to prove that they are able to regain full custody. And in addition to that, it sounds like from what the vignette has stated, the client is hesitant. So we want to honor everything that the client is saying and not give false hope at the same time, because we don't know what the results will be of the custody hearing. So it is appropriate to tell the client that he or she has the right to choose how to respond to Child Protective Services. So a core principle of social work is the client's right to self-determination. The NASW Code of Ethics is clear that social workers should support a client's right to self-determination unless a client is posing a risk to self or someone else. Social workers should set aside their own values and encourage clients to make their own choices based on what they think is right for them. Although it may be appropriate at times to discuss the pros and cons of a decision, clients need to know that ultimately the decision is up to them. So there you have it. Although some of these may seem like they may be the right answer, the best thing for the clinical caseworker to say to the client, based on the NASW Code of Ethics and based on the LCSW exam, is D. You are free to choose whether or not you want to try to regain custody of the children. Now, if you have comments on this or questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. If this vignette question was helpful to you, please let me know by leaving a comment in the comment section below as well. I have other vignette questions and other exam questions, test exam examples. If you are interested in that, I really enjoy looking over these. They are really important to review before your exam. So let me know if this was helpful, because we can always go through other ones. I have several. So other than that, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more videos like this. And don't forget, managing mental health matters.